hearing airplanes. Was it Haley Williams, B.O.B. Bob? Can we pretend that airplanes in the night sky are like shooting stars? I could really use a wish right now. And just speaking of pretending, let's pretend that I didn't put on an incredibly oversized sweatshirt to cover the fact that I'm still wearing my pajamas. Still wearing my pajamas. Yeah, let's just, I don't know, let's see what's going on. What are the themes? What are the vibes? The animal, she-wolf vessel. Ooh, the empty room. I start hearing fire and desire. That's interesting. We're gonna circle back to that for certain. We have the Queen of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Current energy, let's look at this. Four of Cups. Now this is some energy. Missed opportunities, bored, satisfaction, apathy, discontent, unmotivated. Okay, so they're like I'm getting like this primal like energy. something beckons. Something this way comes. Also, my like oven towel. You know when you use like a little like, I can't even describe it, but you know it's like anyway. To pull things out of the oven, not necessarily mitts or like little square things, but just anyway. It was just flowing in the wind, except there's no wind, there's no air. Like yeah, that fan is on, but my stove is all the way over there. So, but there is something about like freedom and wind, because before, like earlier I was prepping food and I was hearing Cop Car by Sam Hunt, specifically the part where he's like, it's so propaganda, but there was something about the way the blue lights were shining, bringing out the freedom in your eyes. And also, that song is about essentially like trespassing and going and watching airplanes take off. And then cute airplanes. I could really use a wish right now. Devil. I kind of get the feeling that like something is trying to break through. Ooh, Queen of Pentacles reversed and the Autumn Equinox card. Prepare for change. You've been preparing for change over the last few months, whether you know it or not. There's this balancing act that's been taking place. High Priestess reversed. This feeling of disconnect. It's like you just kind of overall feel like out of sorts, just like disconnected from yourself, from like the root of who you are, the truth of who you are. But it's good because it's like with the devil out here, it's disconnecting, like it's cutting off, you know, the things that grip you, the ties that bind. Four Cups. Ten of Pentacles. 10 of Cups, sorry. 10 of Cups under, and that's 10 of Cups upright, under 4 of Cups. Missed opportunity, unmotivated, depressed. of an ending that did not go your way. Something that you thought was going to be long lasting and did not go your way. Four of Pentacles at the bottom here. Or Four of Coins within this deck. Devil. That was the Hierophant, but it didn't come out. I'm kind of getting that you're disconnected also from like your higher self. So like your deeper grounded, purest like soul self, and then also your highest, like your higher self, your highest level of like consciousness, your highest path, your highest timeline. Devil. We're gonna take it. You see how that like, see how that's like balancing? That's crazy. It's Two of Swords. It's like you won't deal with this. You won't let go. Queen of Coins reverse. Justice. I want one more for that. The Sun reversed, falling in between the Ten of Cups and the Two of Swords. Okay. It's like two different energies here. It's like, I still think like this is all within you as well. Oh yeah, Two of Wands reversed here and the Star right behind it. Reassessing, making adjustments. It's like on one hand, you're very much disappointed on some sort of love, family situation. Some sort of thing that you thought was like your end all be all, your ideal like storybook ending. And then also, like simultaneously, there's been this focus on the imbalances within you, kind of dealing with your perfectionist tendencies, how that cuts you off, how that's rooted in your shadow self and a disconnect from like your higher self. Because remember, we had the High Priestess reversed. And so it's like, there's no way for you to aim true towards anything because you're kind of lost in the liminal space, but not in the liminal space of like where you're trying to, of like where you're able to figure everything out. It's like you don't understand that you're in the liminal space. It's like you've put yourself in this purgatory and you don't kind of like realize it. It's like this is permission for you to reassess this entire situation, your situation, yourself. What self is doing, self's path, all of that. And to give yourself permission to like go forward and have joy. 12-12 on the time. This autumn equinox card, preparing for change. This could have started during the autumn equinox. Like this says a few months, but that was what like end of September, so that would have been 7 months ago. Wheel. The wheel. The Jesus, take the wheel. Oh, okay. I'm saying like fortune favorable. Splitting to shut up. Splitting to like the actual cosmic card. And here, lunar eclipse, deep emotional cleanse, subconscious reveal, new emotional cycle seen clearly, divine aid. Splitting to that with the wheel coming out, the epitome of divine aid, divine intervention. Yeah, it's like It's like they're like, okay, baby, like it's time to wrap it up. High Priestess reverse. Three of Cups reversed. Falling again between the Ten of Cups and the Two of Swords. Being under someone else's influence, time alone, heavy partying, third party influence. This blocking your intuition. You not knowing where to go from there. So this falling on the Two of Swords and the Two of Swords confirming the Devil. I'm getting here with the Devil more so obsession. Kind of an energy of obsession. It's like I'm seeing it all over this. Only focusing on this, only focusing on all that's not happening within life, within love, tending to be like overly ambitious, like, you know, a perfectionist, kind of lacking work-life balance, not really knowing your authentic self, moving from your authentic self, nourishing authentic self, right? And that kind of being, because that's the energy that you're putting out, that's the energy that you're getting back, and it's trying to balance this, trying to tell you to have fun, right? Put yourself out of this purgatory, this hell of wanting to see past the void, wanting to see beyond, and understand that like where you are is where you're meant to be, like right here at this time. And taking a look at like what kind of fills you up, what kind of sustains you, right? Ten of Cups. I just want to get a couple more, and then we're going to go back to the archetype cards that came out, because, again, that's all over this as well. Ten of Cups. What was this Ten of Cups? Four of Swords. There was some sort of retreat here. I need to go within, but also maybe stuck in the mind over this, right? Two of Swords. Seven of Swords. King of Swords. Sideways. We're also going to take, and it fell right on top. The King of Swords specifically fell right on top of the Four of Swords. So, okay, very much, this is very much like a mental thing. This is a mental game. That indecision, rooted in false pretenses, being sneaky, betrayal, deception. I mean, which is literally under the Devil, the shadow, right? King of Swords reversed. That's cold. That's ruthless. That's like controlling. It literally says lacks integrity, drunk on power, under the Devil. This stalemate that you're in. So you're focused heavily on what did not happen for you, what did not come to fruition for you. And it's like, take a look in the mirror and like, how did we get here? How did we go from there to here? Some stuff had to happen in the middle. And there's just like this unwillingness to look at that. But also a refusal to move out of obsessive like thought patterns and like energy, needing to let this, literally a tower at the bottom here, needing to let this go, to let this be, let like have fun, needing to not be so, wanting to like manipulate everything, being possessive. You get the King of Swords reversed and the Queen of Pentacles reversed. The King of Swords, he's logical, he's analytical, he's like, when you're trying to move forward in life, you want to embody that energy. You know, he locks in, he like sees everything from above and can make a plan, make a way, all of that. The Queen of Pentacles, she's warm, she's nurturing, she's like she's soul nourishment. She's like the heart of the home. She can make a home out of like literally like scraps. Do you know what I mean? Like she doesn't need much, but it can also be an indicator of needing to get your sort of material world in line, be that your health, your actual finances, all those things. So reverse, materialistic, needing everything to be perfect. Workaholic. The sun and justice. The world reverse, falling right on top of. Ooh, as we split to the Nine of Swords, psychological like turmoil, disarray. The world falling on the High Priestess reverse, war reverse. You're just delaying the inevitable. By not making a choice, by staying stuck in this energy, thinking that you not making a choice is actually making a choice, just delaying the inevitable. The Wheel. Strength reversed. They're trying to get you to like gain some confidence, to be vulnerable, deal with your self-esteem issues. Like that's what this time is for, so they can reveal like your true desires underneath. But you're just focused on lost opportunities, inadequacy. Three of Cups reversed. Knight of Wands. I want one more for that. Seven of Wands. And we split again to the Seven of Cups reversed. Clarity of thought. I don't think that Long pause, I know. You're supposed to like be making peace with. I want one more. High Priestess reverse. One more for that. Shit, the Page of Wands reverse. Out of ideas, falling right on the devil. Like, at your wit's end. We'll read that in a second. Why did I just start hearing, baby, I'm praying on you tonight. Hunt you down, eat you alive. Just like animals, animals, animals. Okay, disconnected. Self-limiting. Needing to redirect your energy. That's why you've had this time alone. This Three of Cups reversed. Yes, it's a card of entanglements, third-party interference, influences. I keep splitting to the Seven of Cups, and I'm literally not even trying to do that. This is important. This is very important. Like, this is meant to like reinvigorate you. This time alone, being in the dark here, it's supposed to liberate you so that you can find like a new path, so that you're no longer like dwelling on missed opportunities, so that instead of being trapped in the mind over what did or didn't happen, over some sort of like love situation, whatever, love in all forms, you're seeing the like the necessity of this, and you're making use of this time, getting out of that sort of like ruthless, controlling, possessive, manipulative energy that has you all out of sorts, and learning what it actually means to. Also, the Lovers, personally, like it within self, can very much speak to needing to make a clear choice. But also with another, being able to have harmony and unity within like a partnership, not losing yourself, them not losing themselves. You know what I mean? Like true compromise and like emerging of. Okay. What's my heart space? Wait, hold on. Okay, so I know that like the themes and the overarching points of the cards that I pulled, there's a reason why I waited on them, but I needed to go back and like actually read them. It's like it's like you're the shell of a person, and you're keeping yourself caged in that. It's like you're down bare bones, only like a skeleton is the imagery that I'm seeing. And that's why you're like waving in the wind. And instead of learning to like starting to put bones, like meat on your bones and like move forward, you know what I mean? Like starting to regenerate. You're choosing to say desiccation. You know, like with Vampire Diaries, when the vampires just like desiccate. You know what I mean? They're not. You know, they're not dead, but they're just there. It's like you're trying to be brought back to life, right? What's the when they put the stuff in your heart and they shock you. Defibrillation. I might have just butchered that completely. It's like that's what's trying to, like, psychically, solely, that's what's trying to happen here. But this is an empty vessel. It's not a vessel anymore. And your true nature, your true desire, your true hunger is trying to, like, form and be reinvigorated, right? Revitalized. The empty room, the vortex, the abyss, the nothing. The empty room haunts us all. It is the universal and all too frequent feeling of lack, of wanting, of craving to fill ourselves with something, anything. How about yourself? We too often attempt to remedy the discomfort of the empty room by any means necessary, leading us to a culture of more. Ironically, the empty room is filled to the brim with potential, yet we perceive it as not enough. This card is a cry for patience, for sitting within the barren walls of not knowing, for awaiting true vision and purpose before attaching to what we should do next to save our outward appearance. Be with the nothingness. So it's like, be with the impatience. So it's like you're stripped down your bare bones. You don't want to move forward, but also you don't want anyone to just see you in this state. Help, you're stuck at the restaurant. You know what I mean? Like, you're frozen in time. The empty room has immense power. Let others wonder what you're doing. If you can settle into the magic of the emptiness, you will soon hear its whispers of wisdom. But you're too worried about, like, preconceived notions of who it is that you're supposed to be, what your journey is supposed to look like, and also, like, what people are going to think of you, but what you would think of other people in that position, in your position. Do you know what I mean? Like you're being confronted with how you would view someone, and how it's kind of like really, really judgmental. When light, spaciousness, potential, possibility. When dark, addiction, instability, more for more sake. So you're just trying to fill a void. You're like a black hole that just, like, sucks everything in order to, like, not let anyone see just how empty you are. And instead of appreciating the emptiness, right, and getting a clear head, learning to nourish yourself and to be able to see this from an elevated perspective, you're denying yourself. It's like you're trying to starve out an animal that is instinctual, that's primal, that is older than you are, right? Like, our souls are way older than we are here on this earth. And yeah, you can starve out the soul, you can deprive the soul, you can desiccate the soul, like, metaphorically, but it's still going to be there, and it's still going to have to be something that you contend with eventually, because it's more ancient, it's more powerful than you are. You as a human versus your energetic body. And please understand that I am speaking about this from, like, a more, I know this is very, like, mystical and, like, woo. That's me. Deal with it. I'm seeing 1234, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Starting line. Take, like, this is not necessarily, like, here physical. This is soul level. This is how you're depriving your connection from your, like, your deep true self to your highest, like, your higher self, your highest potential. I'm seeing, like, a broken rod, copper specifically. Maybe you need to work with copper. Is copper a conduit for electricity? It's like, that's what you need. Like a bolt. Like, because the thing, this is all over the place. What was I saying? The defibrillator. Yeah. Resuscitation. Yeah, that. Okay. What's around your heart space this time? Heart with a key. I don't quite know that you should be focused on love right now, but meeting the one, open your heart, welcoming love. This is around your heart space. It does not mean that this needs to be a focus for you. As a matter of fact, depending on how the rest of these cards go, wait, you know, you might, hold on. Seduction. Can speak to third-party interference, but it's attraction, flirting, dating, hooking up, temptation. I had a collective yesterday where specifically, I don't remember this card coming out, but I do remember there potentially being like a focus on sexual energy, on hooking up to like fill a void. And I'm kind of getting this sense here. Also, it could be that, maybe you're trying to burst out of like this gilded cage of, I don't even want to say this. I am getting embarrassed myself. But like this sex deprived like person thing. I don't know if like I can even talk about that too much. But it's like that. Here with the animal's desire. The animal, it's innate, it's instinctual. It goes back to our baser instincts. And I'm not saying that like this is one of our like baser instincts, but procreation is love call. I wonder if like, okay, so here with the vessel, you see how she's like covering up her body or whatever. I wonder if that's just kind of how you are as well. Like actual physical, you know what I mean? Kind of like ashamed of your body, hiding away. Like you see I'm wearing like really, really, really baggy clothes. Like I wonder if that's something that you do like all the time to just like really hide yourself, hide your body, and kind of be invisible and not let the wild out. And this stripping that's also taking place, right? You being so uncomfortable with that because you know that you can't go back, but you don't know what comes next. And you're worried about how it looks. Like evangelical Christians and all that kind of stuff. It's like something's trying to awaken, something's trying to form. Outside of you and then also like inside of you. The question is, are you going to let it? Separation. Sadness, mission to you, unsure about the future, yearning. But we also have ascending here. Let's get one last one. I also feel like that's kind of like separation of self, like fragmentation of the soul. That's too many. I hate that I don't have enough time to fully get into this because I feel like this is deeper. I'm gonna re-tap back into this. This is deeper. Like, I stand by everything that I just said here throughout this reading. But this is also tied to whatever that Ten of Cups was that you thought was coming, that you're kind of sitting in this like apathetic energy over. Last one. Okay, yeah. This is wanting to come out a bunch of times. Kisses. Giving and receiving affection, falling in love. Why do I get the urge, like, why do I get the sense that you're someone, like, who has hid behind a cover of hypersexuality, but, like, deep down, you kind of really fear, like, true sexual, like, intimacy and being seen in a way, being seen, like, as a sexual, like, creature with sexual desires and, like, you know, a drive and a passion and a lust for other, but also just, like, a lust for life. It's like you've depleted your soul. I've said that. I've said that. But now Spirit is like, okay, you're here. Let's see the lesson in this. Let's see the point of this. Let's see the root of this. Let's get to the true nature of self and what we need to sustain us moving forward, and also like what can't come with us, what within this vessel needs to fall away, needs to shatter, like how we need to break the mold, but then also like the mold that we are crafting for this vessel, this era that we're entering. This evolved like version of the soul. But you can't see that because you can't make connection with your deep soul self and your higher awareness, your higher consciousness. But no, I really hate to reduce this like reading because I feel like this was a very I can't even think of the word, but I hate to reduce it down to, and it's not just this, but like this is also very much rooted in you needing to like, I don't want to be vulgar, but like get some, go have an orgasm, being comfortable with that. It's like that's gonna liberate you in some way. Maybe that's something that you're just ashamed of, like sexual intimacy. And there's a reason why I said evangelical Christianity, because within that community, you are there's so much time that's spent on how sex is bad and all these sorts of things, and there's a lack of awareness and a lack of knowledge that by the time you, and actually I had like one of my closest friends in college very much experienced this, by the time they were married and actually able to have sex, like they were kind of scared of it, and then also just kind of put off from it because it had been demonized for their entire life. And it's like you can't flip a switch to where a thing that you've been like kind of put down for even wanting, that, you know, it's especially for women, right? To crave, to want, to desire all these sorts of things, to be interested in even in the slightest, to then being like this sexual creature, you know, this like on this sexual prowl or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, I hope that's landing. I hope that's making sense. Let me know. This was kind of all over the place, but I'm good with that. As always, let me know if this resonates with you. And even though I never say it, it's always on the screen. If you'd like to book a reading with me, email in bio. Love you so much. Have a wonderful day. Bye.